development to be warm, inviting, and full of brand new information. All right, let's dig into our agenda. First, we will have our speaker introduction, which is I. Okay, so my name is Dr. Patrice Barrett. I am a partner success manager for Zearn. I am one of the partner success managers in the Zearn region. In the South Carolina region, I have been with Zearn for the past 6 months. So, what I do is I help different schools and different partners implement Zearn in their schools, whether it be facilitating a workshop in person or in a virtual setting. I also answer certain questions that people have about using Zearn. So, I may also attend some of your professional development over the next few months or any database meetings you may have. I will be the person that you contact. All right, so during our time today, we'll take an in depth look at the curriculum study, which is Zearn's year long pedagogical content PD. So, what will we learn about today? Zearn PD offers Introduction to G3M1, the different resources, the importance of math connections, different checkpoint videos, and interactive videos, and lastly, we will close out. Alright, Zearn and its goals. These goals are based on the intake for information that your admin team submitted to us a few weeks ago. Introduction to Wisteria Lane's Introduce Wisteria Lane's admin to Zearn's mission. Explore Zearn's embedded PD. Review videos and checkpoints for G3M1. And also perform a little scavenger hunt. Virtual, of course. Alright, we will also be having some interactions going this session. You will participate, you will navigate the resources that we're working with, but you will also respond in real time so I can have a brief idea of how you're doing or what you're thinking as it relates to implementing Zearn. The first thing here is I have a buddy. His name is Tom, like Tom and Jerry. And he and I want to know, what is your primary focus for attending this meeting today? Is it to learn how to use Zearn and its interactive curriculum? Is it to compare Zearn to your current math curriculum that you use here at Wisteria Lane? Or is it just to find a new solution to meet your students' math needs? Or is it just because your boss required your attendance today? If it's the last one, be free, be honest, we will not judge you. Now, if you're wondering about how to log on, you would join us at slido.com using your web-based browser, or you can scan the QR code using an electronic device. You will type in the 7 digits you see at the bottom of the screen, and it will pop up. I will give you a few seconds to log in and see how it works. All right, everyone is logged in. So awesome. Thank you so much for your participation. I have a few answers in the portal, and most of you are here to learn how to use Zearn and its interactive curriculum. Great. All right. You have a note-taking guide that you have been given digitally and a hard copy by your math coach. The purpose of the digital copy is so that you can have access to the links that we're going to use today. I want to stress the fact that we will revisit some of the links at least 2 or 3 times a day, so do not feel rushed during any time that you have to explore these particular links, because we will go through them as a team, you'll go through them individually. All right? Then you will also have a hard copy of the same notes on the screen, because we want you to take notes in case you have any aha moments or any questions you want to bring up during the end of this session or during our next session. Professional development offers. So most of my content is put in the ABC type of format. A, I present the general topic that you'll be learning about with that link. B, you actually have time to explore the link on your own, which I'll give you about 1 to 2 minutes to dig and dive through, look at some of the headings, look at where information is housed, look at how it's presented, see where you need to click for different things and different topics, and what is really in our PD curriculum, and why do we consider it to be special, right? All right, and last but not least, there's C, which I call WIN, which stands for what I need, but the part that I didn't put is like what I need you to know. So hopefully you will gather the things I need you to know based on what we have dug into today as a team. All right. The first link is here, which is we're going to look a little bit at curriculum study. So this is where we kind of look at the home page for the professional development. I will click my link and you will click yours, and to make sure that we are on the same page. All right. All right. So your link for your home page should look like this. What can we find here? Reasons to use Zearn, how Zearn works, why teachers think Zearn is important, I encourage you to take a minute to explore the homepage to just know more about us. We want to note that students who consistently use Zearn gain at least 11 weeks of math learning in one school year. All right, thank you for spending 1 to 2 minutes looking through our homepage. Now, what do I need you to know? Well, like we said, your students can gain at least 11 weeks of consistent math instruction in one school year. Think about those students who are just so close to being above average. Think about those kids who are low. What would happen if we were able to come in, make sure they have 11 weeks extra of math instruction in one year, wherever those students be? They'd be confident, they'd be curious, they'd be magical, right? So that's what we want if you implement Zearn correctly with the curriculum we have and the built-in digital tools we have. Also, when we designed Zearn, when we designed the curriculum study, we had a clear goal in mind: supporting teachers to lead classrooms where every kid is a math kid. You guessed it. By engaging in curriculum study throughout the year, teachers engage in an ongoing conversation about math, a conversation that allows teachers the time, the space to plan engaging math instruction, think collaboratively, and facilitate rich mathematical discourse, which are elements of a math classroom, which we know is what it takes to have effective math instruction and build critical thinkers. Let's dive in and explore curriculum study PD for grade 3, mission 1 together. All right, introduction to G3M1. When I see these letters, I always think about the logo for Mission Impossible 3. Are we all Tom Cruise fans? All right, so our topic here is math conversations. So we're going to explore the professional development side of Zearn, the homepage for that part, and then we'll talk about what I need you to know. So this is like very critical, but once again, we'll look at some of these links several times, so do not feel like you have to rush. So I'll click my link so you can make sure you're on the same page. This is what it looks like, the professional development homepage. Notice how these two tabs are. I can toggle them back and forth. I can click here for information. Now, you may also note that this session right here is for teachers and this is for the leaders. So I'll give you about 1 more minute to just dive into the information that you notice. For those of you who do not have your own device, you are welcome to look at what is projected on my screen or your smartboard in your PLC room. Grow with Zearn Data for Leaders, K through 5, 6th through 8th grade. You have your objective. This is a quick one-pager. Of course, we'll have more information once you have signed up for our complete program. All right. Ooh, the 2 minutes has went by fast. Okay, so what I need you to know. Zearn Curriculum Study PD provides ongoing professional learning to support educators in building deep pedagogical content expertise. This professional development creates the opportunity for teachers to internalize the big ideas, and you're going to see how they can do that in a minute, of each unit by deepening their understanding of the math content and making math content accessible for every student. That's the only way each kid becomes a math kid. There's a session for each unit, or as we call them, missions, in grades K through 5, so approximately 40 sessions total. Our approach to BD puts all the materials that you need in a one-stop shop, pretty much an on-demand, easy-to-use format. Everything is there for you. Videos, tools, resources, where to refer to for more questions. There are over 40 hours of content with the Curriculum Study PD, designed to be facilitated through the year during your grade level meetings. Many of our partners say that they love the Curriculum Study PD because it's perfect for facilitating their math PLC meetings. We hope that you find this to be true as well. All right, resources. So our topic here is constant content expert development. How do we get to that point, right? What really makes us experts in this area? What kind of training do we have to go through? Well, hopefully when you preview the curriculum study, you will see like, wow, there's a lot of information to learn here. So I will click it on my screen. I expect you to click it on your screen as well. And this is a tab that we're going to look at more than once. I'll just highlight where things are. You know that this is grade 3, mission 1. This is the study portion. It's approximately 68 minutes where the kids learn how to multiply and divide friendly numbers. Facilitators instruction. There's the guide for facilitators. Participant notes. You have about 4 videos here. Okay. And once again, I will give you about 3 minutes to just click things back and forth because we want you to know what everything is. All right. So thank you for, reviewing this link. So these are the videos. These are this is how they're kind of formatted. We will watch.
The focus of the total.
And you can see these blue dots. They are reflection checkpoints for teachers. And this is where you have discussions with your partners, your colleagues. I apologize. All right. So once again, you see where the facilitator guide is. About 3 pages, what to do before, what to do during, what to do after your session. You have your participant notes. You have your table of contents so you can know where to refer to certain things very quickly. Built-in examples, of course. All right. So, for each session, we provide all the resources both facilitators and participants need for a high-quality PD during the year, including a robust facilitator guide with detailed guidance for facilitation, participant notes which include a range of resources that teachers use throughout the sessions, such as mission overview and problems from the assessments and the lessons. And finally, interactive videos to guide said lesson. All right. All right, this is time for a brief temperature check. Question 2, right? All right, so if you could log into Slido once again for me. All right, while you're logging in, I will read the questions. Name one part of our brief introduction that you are interested in learning more about with question 2. I do see a few answers: explorations, mission, digital assignments. I see some very good answers. Okay, guys, you are intrigued, and I'm happy to hear that. I'm glad that you're curious and learning more about what we have to offer. Just like our friend Willy Wonka, he wants to know what else you want to know about. Just the way we want to teach and instill in our kids to be curious about math, be curious and confident with math. This is how we get them there, by first being curious as teachers and enough to study our curriculum PD that we have embedded in Zearn. And then we'll too will shape kids who are like, I want to know more about this way and more about that strategy. And that's what it's all about. All right, the importance of connections. So the topic here is operations, mathematical operations. Do you all remember that game? Operations. That's just how it sounds in my head when I hear it. But anyway, all right, now we're going to explore the curriculum preview link. Okay, which we have seen. So this looks familiar, right? So this time, take time to click something else and watch it for a minute or two. All right, thank you for spending time, whether you clicked the word problems video and watched it, or if you click the facilitator notes where you want to watch it in a more in-depth perspective. Okay, so there are a few things you need to know this time around. So let's spend a minute talking about grade 3 mission 1. That's what G3M1 stands for. This is an important mission because it's the start of 3rd grade and kids are learning about equal groups and multiplication and division as it is a connected operation. Throughout this mission, students engage with a number of representations: picture, arrays, tape diagrams. All this is to visualize the math they learn as concepts. So at first glance, we're like, hey, we didn't learn it this way, and maybe I shouldn't teach it this way. But here's the good part. It's important to unpack how these representations unlock the deep understanding for our students and how they are all connected. So, as we go, look for how the curriculum study session brings these concepts to life in a visual way, how the representations help students develop a conceptual understanding of what multiplication and division are and how deeply related they are. Now, if we teach kids how these things are connected, when they have word problems that incorporate multiple operations where they have to toggle back and forth, our students will be comfortable because we have taught them multiple strategies. They're critical thinkers and they're not afraid to jump from the division portion of the word problem into the mathematics portion of the word problem. And this helps prevent any roadblocks because they are used to seeing one operation and how it relates to another. All right, our checkpoint video. So now we're going to look at those videos that we just talked about. So this topic or this slide is called puzzle pieces, right? So the explore time and the win, what I need, you got it, you to know, it's going to be hand in hand. Excuse me. All right, so let's play this from the beginning. I am going to click the link here. And you do not have to put on your screen because I am projecting and I will also be sharing sound.
Hi, and welcome to our study of Grade 3 Mission 1. My name's Lisa. Your students see me a lot in math chats and learning labs during the learning of multiplication and division, and strategies for multiplication and division within.
You can notice how Lisa has everything laid
Throughout the
out,
mission,
what
the
part
number
she's
range
referring
is
to in the
restricted
lesson.
to friendly numbers. Equal groups is going to.
All right, so here's our first checkpoint. You can read over this. This is where you and your partner will once again collaborate together. There are some intentional choices we made when designing PD that I really want to highlight. First, the overview sessions always begin by identifying the major work of the grade so the teachers can explore how all the puzzle pieces fit together. As you can see here, there are moments like this checkpoint where teachers get to pause, they get to pose meaningful questions, and they have the opportunity to share what their insight with their colleagues. Here, teachers engage with the mission overview and in their participant notes to zero in on the big ideas of the mission. Let's keep going.
In the beginning of the mission, and the size of groups will get more and more sophisticated.
All right, so here's another opportunity for teachers to pause and reflect about the model students will use to represent equal groups. This moment plus the video exploration before is one of the ways many teachers get to investigate the progression of the mission and how this progression supports deeper understanding, all while building to more sophisticated strategies, which is just what the speaker said.
Let's get a sense of where kids are headed by taking a look at a problem.
All right. This is our checkpoint 3. In this moment, teachers have the opportunity to think about their students and how they would solve this particular problem at the end of the mission assessment. Teachers are always asked to consider strategies that their students may use to solve this problem. Think about the boys and the girls in your classroom. How would they work this problem out? What would it look like? What kind of conflict might they incur?
To solve this problem, some students may use the strategy 6 rows may draw the more the meaning to help them. In the other, some students may.
Okay, so this is what an example of student work they show, like a sample, and you and your colleague are supposed to discuss it. So after teachers have time to work through the problem together, they are to analyze one example of student work from this problem, and this experience grounds teachers in the rigor of the mission and gives them the opportunity to explore and discuss the range of student work that they should expect to see.
To solve similar to sophisticated and abstract sentences to help them. In the other
All
grade.
right, we're going to pause the video right there. We're going to jump back into it. All right, so we got to see a little bit of how the videos go, what the checkpoints look like, what you are asked to do as a participant, as a teacher. Facilitators, you know when to begin to pause, kind of give us, let the participants take a deep breath so that they can move on to the next portion and think with a clear head. All right, we're on our next slide. This title is called Interactive Videos, and the topic is what's the point? What is the point of this page? What is the point of Curriculum PD that Zearn has decided to craft a comprehensive study guide for our teachers? All right, I will click this link, and I'm going to go down to the videos that are built in here. Okay. All right, I want us to take time. I will project, you don't have to. And take a second to kind of look at each of the videos.
Multiplication is we'll get the draw an
So we're
array
familiar with
showing
the
6
overview.
rows of 4.
Now we have the fluency portion.
With multiplication and division. Multiplying and dividing with larger numbers 1,
As you see, the demonstrations
9,
change per
and
topic.
19. So we're helping, and by the middle of the mission, you and your students will be counting by fours
They have great visuals.
and on. Group.
All right, let's jump back to the word problems portion.
Hi. In this video, we're going to continue to explore how the big idea present 4 units or groups as the boxes.
Okay, so what I want you to understand is that these videos that you have will help you understand what you're teaching your students and what they need to be able to do by the end of the lesson. And they're presenting multiple strategies and multiple solutions that you can share with your students and to help you become a what? Content expert. So, following the overview video, where teachers develop a sense of the big idea of the mission and how those fit into the major work of the grade, you get to examine fluency, application work, and concept development for this mission. So you can successfully plan and deliver your lessons for your students. That's what I needed you to know. You know, you have time to talk with the students. You get to revisit the big mission in the overview and what's going to come up within the lesson, and you get strategies for how to deliver an effective lesson. We're going to have another temperature check. If you could please log into Slido. My friend SpongeBob and I would like to know, how do you feel about implementing Zearn? Are you curious? Oh, someone is curious. Someone is nervous. Someone said mathtastic. Someone says calm, brave. All right, those are good feelings. We're glad that you feel that way. Last, okay, guys, we're going to do a scavenger hunt, which is why I really want you to dig through different things while we were exploring today. You have 4 choices here. I would love if you could accomplish 2. Which link can you find the concept exploration video? Okay, you have a few links. What is the last step in the facilitator guide? What are the 2 tabs that are labeled that are offered on the PD page? And name one activity built into the checkpoints. I will set my timer for 5 minutes. Guys, you can tell I taught elementary school because I am a time loving person. All right. And I really want to respect your time. So I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes and give you time. You can work with a partner. The important thing is to know where certain information is, how does it look, why it's important, and how you can quickly access it, right? Awesome job. I see a few answers in the chat box. Yes, that is correct. That is where you can find the concept exploration video. Yes, what to do after your PD? Uh-huh. Advanced and foundations. Very good. Yes. Reflect. Yes. Conduct a strategy. Absolutely. Good answer. So you guys were very active today. Thank you. So in my closing, I want to thank you all for your time. I hope you learned some information about Zearn's embedded curriculum for professional development and how it supports teachers as they build deep pedagogical content knowledge and helps all kids be what? Math kids. Thank you so much for joining me and happy Zearning. At this time, we'll have a few brief remarks from Wisteria Lane's principal and Wisteria Lane's math coach and your district coaches, respectively. Thank you for your remarks. All right, we have one last temperature check, guys. You know I couldn't let it go. My cat is back. His name is still Tom, and he says, "Are you ready to Zearn?" And we hope the answer is yes. Once again, my name is Dr. Barrett. I am a Partner Success Manager for Zearn for the South Carolina region. I can be contacted at 555. My email address is on the screen, and we hope you all have a wonderful day.